Hello and welcome to my Fancy Lady Music channel. I am Sheila Moody. Well, I am a San Francisco black hippie that attended two hands-off protests on April 5th, 2025. And I know you TikTokers told we African Americans to stay our black asses at home. But I'm a child of the 60s and a graduate of the School of Ethnic Studies at San Francisco State. So, in having said that, I love a good protest. So I decided to go and check it out. And TikTokers, you were right. Between the San Francisco and Oakland rallies, collectively I must have seen about 10 black people at this thing. Y'all really got the assignment and followed through. But anyway, I don't think these people were studying me at all. I managed to weave in and out of both crowds virtually unnoticed. The people did gaze over at me. I think they saw me as an ally. They gave me things. First of all, they had a booth where you could make your own sign and you could write in hands off whatever was important to you. So I wrote in hands off diversity, equity, inclusion, hands off our money, hands off our bodies, and hands off the arts. And this was in response to the recent setbacks at Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. So, anyway, yeah, not only did they let me make a free sign, people gave me buttons, they gave me literature, there was free pizza, donuts, water. It was a very peaceful and welcoming event. You see here this dude with the guitar, there was artist representation. And, it wasn't the scary thing that people expected. I guess because there were so many white women, older white women, maybe they weren't considered much of a threat, so there was minimal police presence. As soon as I got off both BART stations, I saw grandparents, people, grandparent age, tons of gray hair getting off the BART carrying signs. Older Americans, and people forget that not all white people are wealthy. There's San Francisco alone, they're disenfranchised, low-income white veterans, homeless people, artists, people just struggling to make ends meet and living paycheck to paycheck.
Test,
Like
one, two,
everybody else,
check,
not
check, check,
everybody.
test, one,
Not all
two,
white people
check,
come from generational wealth,
test, check,
and not
one, two,
all
test,
white people have family to help them out or a support system. And we saw a lot of disfranchised people, showing up at the protest, especially in San Francisco, where the line between the rich and the poor is just so drastic. So anyway, I heard a lady talking about protests all around the Bay Area, so I decided to head over to Oakland and see what's going on there. Maybe all the black people were in Oakland, and maybe some younger people or people with my middle-age status. Maybe they're there, so let me go and check it out. Maybe there's some black artists, some poets, and people, my black folks, black women my age over there. And as soon as I got there and I stopped into the Walgreens for some water, I heard a black woman say, "I've never seen so many white people in one place in my life." And I said, "Oh, wow, even in Oakland, which is a notable black city, the turnout was predominantly white." So, I just kikied at that. And the same demographic, you see a lot of older Americans. And at this place, you saw your true deep-seated radicals. You saw your communists, your socialists, your Marxist, your hardcore feminist, your atheist, any ist that you could think of seemed to be out there with booths of literature. And, this is where a nice gentleman handed me a resist button, and another gentleman handed me a flyer and explained what was going on at his bookstore. So, yeah, people were willing to educate, and there were also a group of intellectuals, again, some feminists, some environmentalists, um, people from all walks of life. I really don't believe in sitting home and eating snacks and scrolling through TikTok on a day of protest. Suppose Harriet Tubman, after she freed herself, suppose she had just decided to sit on her own porch and drink lemonade and watch the chickens instead of going back to liberate poor enslaved Americans. What would that have gotten us? Suppose during the 60s in the Deep South, and there wouldn't have been the Montgomery bus boycott. There wouldn't have been the March on Washington if people had just decided to stay home and let other people protest. I think representation is definitely important to make your point known. You don't have to destroy things, you don't have to be violent, you don't have to be confrontational, you don't have to be angry. It's just a movement of job people, a movement of people of creative, of common vision, a common mind, fighting for a true democracy. And we could do that with our intellect and the our talents and our skills that we bring to the table. We could make change with our intellect and our collective skills. So this was probably a lesson in how to protest. And again, there was minimal police presence at the Oakland rally, and no tear gas, no nothing. My friend texted me and told me to be safe. I said, I don't think you could be any safer than in a crowd full of liberal white people in the Bay Area, because there seemed like absolutely no threats. I really enjoyed these two people here dressed up like characters from The Handmaid's Tale. I read Margaret Atwood's novel back in the 80s, and it scared the hell out of me. A Handmaid's Tale. And so, yes, you see a lot of generations in Oakland getting up the bar and heading towards the protest. I did make a detour before I went back to the San Francisco protest. I did make a detour at Minto's Jamaican juice bar for a green juice to hydrate and keep the energy going. I stopped Minton's Jamaican juice bar for a jerk chicken patty and a green juice. And then I headed back to San Francisco to see what was up with that rally. And so I discovered one of my favorite authors, Bell Hooks. There was a book on display, her last interviews, on one of the tables at the protest in San Francisco. And I thought that was really cool. And then after, near the end of the San Francisco rally, I saw a few people marching over to the Tesla dealership on Van Ness Avenue in San Francisco. And so I decided to see what was going on there. So I followed a group of people up there, and the same thing, everything was peaceful. A few cars were honking at the protesters just standing there. So there was no smashing of Teslas, no defacing property, no looting. So yes, this was just my experience during the day. If y'all have any similar or other experiences, please let me know. Type it in the comment section. But yeah, as a journalist, I'm always curious. I always want to see what's going on, and when people tell me not to go somewhere, that's when I really everyone to show up and see what was going on. I went to the Michael Jackson trial, and you're going to think this is funny, but just to see that Michael Jackson was a real person. I had to touch him and see him with my own eyes to make sure that he was real. So I'm the show I'm from Missouri. I'm from the show me state. I like to see what's going on rather than sitting home and watching it on television or scrolling through the internet and hearing it secondhand. So this was my peaceful and eye-opening experience at the hands-on protest, April 5th, 2025, in both San Francisco and Oakland, California. Peace out and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Couldn't get out, and people tried to steal them out.
He talks about that. Perfect, all of you, yeah. Okay, we have our hand up. Thanks for giving us a bad time.
Which one did you want again? Okay. Want the 12 ounce, 16, or 24? Okay. And I actually have 2 island paradise. What size? 12. Sorry, which one did you want again? Okay. Want the 12 ounce, 16, or 24? Okay. And I actually have 2 island paradise. What size? 12.
Talking about Republican members, of course. We have to stand up. We have to stand up. Fascism looks differently in every country. It came to power differently in Spain than in Argentina, than in Italy, than in Germany. than in Chile, than in Brazil.
Right?
This goes on. Looks different in every country. When you have billionaires that control Washington Post, when you have billionaires that control the LA Times, when you have billionaires that control Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they get the message out. Fascism
Want to go around? Yeah, yeah. I don't like going. Yeah, exactly.
I believe there's a companion.
They're all marbles.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Maggie from Rooftop. Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah, you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I just saw Andrew at Claiborne.
Oh, good. It was just with Robin.
Have you seen
I jumped on it.
So if you don't mind sending There's a
They're trying to, yeah, which is crazy, yeah, yeah. Oh, I.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I saw that.
in any way, shape, or form.
Elon Musk is going to go for that. Yeah. other side. That's a good one.
They're dollar bills. They're dollar bills. That's exactly what I'm. Yeah, that's. I was like, this is exactly.
Yeah, you know, the CCD is great. I know. I have a bat sitting like 3 It's not the American Union. I don't know if it's Rob's. Why is it?